Let's talk about the big power outage that happened out east. News 12 actually covered this. Nearly 30,000 people were out of power because a box truck snapped a transmission line in Southold. And this transmission line is out east along Route 48 here. And it happened that I'm not sure what the exact, where it exactly happened. We'll look at the thing. But this is the transmission line that was hit, this one right here. And you can see here that it's all wood poles. And that's a problem. So this is all wood over here, and we'll figure out when we see the story, we'll see what happened. But this line serves the North Fork. But they were doing work, and so instead of just parts of Southold and Greenport is their own utility, but they get their power from that transmission line, and Orient getting knocked out. They were doing work at the East Hampton substation, and because of that, there's a line that goes from that North Fork line down to the East Hampton substation, the Buell substation over here, and because they were doing work either at the substation or on the line, they were using this backup line from the North Fork, and when that went down, it caused the power outage to affect all of East Hampton, Amagansett, Napiog, and Montauk. They all got knocked out from this. So it covered a pretty big area. So let's play the story from News 12.
Storm of problems left thousands of Long Islanders without power, and it started with routine maintenance. Then came a crash. News 12's Kurt Semder is in Southold tonight, and Kurt, thankfully the power is back on now.
That's right, Antoinette, and PSEG crews are still working at this hour, even after they tell us that power has been restored to more than 30,000 Long Islanders here on the East End who were without it for hours, and all of this stemming from a box truck that struck a utility pole right here in Southold.
These poles shouldn't be wood; they should be metal.
They should be
metal poles.
This accident and what we saw this morning, the box truck striking the pole, and you can see the truck was very, very badly damaged. The impact causing the pole, along with the downed wires, to fall across the road. Police have closed the road as work is continuing in the area. Now, Long Islanders on both the North and South Fork lost power around 10:30 this morning. The towns of Southold and East Hampton were directly affected, and PSEG says they were performing scheduled maintenance on transmission lines when it took place.
The backup circuit is maintaining the load of the East End, but what happened is the motor vehicle accident took that backup transmission circuit out, and that means that the load needs to be pushed back onto those lines that were taken out for maintenance.
Look at that. Wow. So let's figure out exactly where that had to be close to where I was looking. Pretty sure it was close to where I was looking on here. So go back over here. It's probably right over. Yeah, right over in this area probably. Right in this area probably is where it happened. So this is close to where I was looking. Right in this, actually no, it's maybe a little more over here. But right over here is where it happened. So yeah, these are all wood poles over here, and they really should be upgraded to, it might have happened right in this spot here, because those look like suspension insulators. It might have happened right in this spot right here, where these should all be metal, because this is the line that serves the North Fork. But it was also carrying this part of the East Hampton Town as well, because they were doing work on the transmission line. So this line really needs to be. There was a metal line that used to serve the South Fork. Believe it or not, there was, and we can find it. You can look at the right-of-way right over here. It was taken out of service, and they replaced it with the wooden line, because this was this line here. Are we getting closer here? Yeah, this line. My computer is acting weird. You can see this line is not in service anymore as a tree. But these were metal. These were metal poles, metal pylons. Most of these. This was a 23 kV circuit that used to be in service, that was taken out of service many years ago, that fed from Riverhead. That's on a metal line, and they should not have gotten rid of that. They should have kept that as a backup in case something like this would have happened, but they didn't. And now the whole South Fork is reliant on one transmission line, which is a problem. I mean, not the South Fork so much, but the North Fork, and that's a problem. So, like I said, I think this line needs to be pressed back into service in some way. There used to be a 23 kV. I can look it up. 23 kV Riverhead Greenport line. I think it was a Riverhead Greenport line. So there used to be. All right. So I can't find anything about it. But this line is no longer in service anymore, and that's a problem. They took this line out of service. They should have kept it as a backup because now this whole thing would have been avoided if they had done that, but they didn't do that. So, so that feeds. Let's play the rest of the story here. I can see where that is. That looks like the spot I was just looking at right there.
Meanwhile, residents here in Southold that we spoke to today, they were very concerned that the power would not come back. And they were worried that they would not be able to stay in their homes.
Yeah, because it's cold.
No heat, no electricity. The gas fireplace died last night.
I mean, I have a wood stove, so I'm not worried. We have heat in our house and everything, but I would like power back to take a warm shower.
But those people do have their power back tonight, and Southold police telling us tonight regarding the driver of the box truck, a man in his 30s, experienced a medical episode while at the wheel and drifted off the road. They say he was taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
Wow, it's amazing
again,
he
this road
survived.
here will remain closed while crews, as you can see behind me, are still working to clean things up and get those wires off the road so people can get by safely. We're here in Southold tonight. Kurt Semder.
I'll explain to you. So they were working on the transmission line that serves. This would have normally just affected the North Fork east of Southold. All right. I know Greenport has their own utility, but as I explained to you, they do have their own generators on standby. They did, I think, wind up firing them up, but they get their power from that transmission line that comes all the way from Riverhead. So that line replaced what used to be a 23 kV line that fed that area. But anyway, they were doing work in East Hampton on this transmission line right here. Yes, this is it right here. You can see the line right here. This is a metal line that goes into East Hampton. So they were doing work on this line here. Maybe tree trimming, maybe I don't know what they were doing, but this line right here was out of service. And because this line was out of service between Bridgeport and East Hampton, they were taking power from the underground cable from the North Fork line that was hit by the truck and feeding East Hampton Town with it. And so if we look at this, it'll explain to you what this line is. All right, so this is two of the are overhead common steel tower line originating from the Tiana substation that we just saw. But the third line is a 69 kV underwater cable from Southold to the Buell substation in East Hampton. So this feed, they were using this as a backup, and because that line from the North Fork was hit, it blacked out East Hampton. So that kind of explains what happened. There's another article here from Newsday, obviously about this. They say that's affected 28,000 customers. That's a very large outage. Well, it's a blackout, pretty much an outage that large. But they got power back to everyone by 2:30, except 102 customers. They said our crews responded to a motor vehicle impact accident. The outages were compounded by unrelated scheduled maintenance work, which made, again, the outage affect East Hampton Town as well. Amazing the guy was okay, though. The driver just suffered minor injuries. That is a miracle. 34-year-old man. He suffered a medical episode, so at least there's some good news that came out of this. At least he's going to be all right. So, but it's just a reminder that we need metal poles. We need metal poles. The wooden poles are not safe at all. They're not safe for any. Transmission should not be on wood. All right, that's a key line for the North Fork. That should be on metal. All right. So that is what I got for you on the power outage out east. Thank you for watching.